Hey, coin folk, welcome back. Back with the $half hunt for the first time in a little bit here. We life gave us some other priorities for a minute, so we were handling those and got time to video a little hunt here. So we're gonna get back on them. I have been doing my hunts. They've just been kind of quicker and off camera. Fortunately for you, you didn't miss a whole heck of a lot. They were all skunks. In between, maybe I'll give you some details on them later, but for now, we're gonna get 4 boxes opened up, see what we might be looking at for this week. We got one that somebody polished the heck out of or something, and nothing standing out, at least as far as enders on the top. Lots of circulated though, so that's good. Man, if I can get this thing up without knocking everything over. I don't know what's going on with these boxes. This one's filthy. This one over here was dropped or something. It's about falling out the side. And we're looking about the same there. All circulated. Nothing newer. No silver. He's staring at us anyways. This one, like I said, is about ready to fall out the bottom over here. So I have to be a little careful with this one. But we shall get her opened. Well, on the inside at least, she looks about the same as the others. So she's a hunt. A couple newer enders, but mostly circulated. And lastly, let's slide this fella in here. And about the same as box number 3. A couple newer enders, but mostly circulated. None of that good shiny stuff. So it's gonna have to be on the insides if we find it. So let's jump in and find it. I'll get set up here, and I do want to show you one thing. Even though my $half hunts have not been fruitful while I was away, I did have one good find while I was hunting for $half. But I'll have to show you that to make a little more sense out of that. But let me get set up here, and I'll bring you back in, and we'll take a look at that real quick, and then get rolling on these boxes. So I'll be right back. So we ran through the boxes real quick here. It wasn't anything super heavy. I think about the heaviest was like 226.4, maybe in that ballpark. We did get our one box repaired here. Got all the tape around that corner there. So we're going to start with that one. But as mentioned before, we have been having some stinkers that you've been missing. So if I'm not wrong, this is where the last video I posted. So I guess we just missed 2. Both 4 box hunts. One, I had a couple that we picked up from a bank with no luck on those. But as you can see, no 90s, no 40s, no proofs, handful of NIFCs and some random miscellaneous finds. I think we had a couple of lightweight planchets. I think I found a few 23 DDOs, and that was about the highlights for the last couple of hunts. So I guess I saved you the headache of having to view those. But I did mention we had some good stuff that we found when I was stopping at a random bank looking for some $half. They didn't have any, but they did have some Ikes. Most of them were fairly decent condition. And then there was a few that were not so great condition. But as far as condition-wise, a little tougher date to find a really nice one. We had a really nice 77. It's got a little spot kind of behind his head there. I guess it's not little, but where the luster's kind of dull. The luster's under there. So I'm not sure if that was like a little grease on the die, or it might actually be something on the coin that we might have to get some acetone to it. But the luster does go underneath it. It's just dull. So not real sure what that area is, but outside of that, the coin's in pretty good shape. So it was nice to find a nice 77. But the best part of it is under the scope. We got a 72 Type 2 reverse. You can see here just kind of lack of definition all over, real soft in this kind of lower left portion of the globe there. And the biggest telltale sign is your kind of lack of islands there underneath the tip of Florida. So, and actually it is in fairly decent shape as well. So it's got a few little scuffs on it, but overall pretty good shape. I think it'd probably grade a 3. If I had to guess off the top of my head, maybe 4, but I don't know. I've never really graded that many Ikes, so kind of a guess at this point. But overall, in good shape. So first I've ever found of Type 2 reverse, so I'll gladly take it. And we'll hang on to some of the nicer Ikes and probably just deposit the rest, but we'll take them as we can find them. So speaking of, let's jump in there and see what we can find. Well, we didn't get too far into the box. Second roll, we got our first NIFC 2004 out of Denver. Does have a little scuff mark right there by the 4 and the date. There we go, hit that light on it right there. But overall in fairly decent shape, so we'll take that and keep on moving. Just shared the first NIFC, the rest of them will just pile up and cover at recaps. But for now, keep on moving. Just tore into roll number 4 here. Well, it's not the exact edge that we're looking for. Got that sharp, thick edge down here. Gotta be a proof. If I can get my fat fingers around it. Here she is. Fairly decent shape. And we got 95 proof. We'll take that for sure. Been a minute since we found a proof. And I always like finding proofs because then that means somebody's dumping some kind of coins that aren't just regular circulation. So hopefully that means we got some good stuff in here. So let's keep on moving and find out. Back on roll 10 here, and we got another thick edge down here. Should be another proof for us. She definitely is. A little scuffier than the last, but it's a little older than the last as well. 91S. San Francisco proof. So we'll take it. Be nice if it's in a little better shape, but it is what it is. We did have the one, where am I at here? This edge down here looks a little silvery, but it's not. I could tell just by the shine of it that it's plated or something. Somebody just messing with the edge, just messing with people. But that's all right. We'll take a proof. We've pulled out quite a few more NIFCs, so. But that's about it so far, so we're going to keep on moving and see what else. Come on, camera, focus. See what else we can get out of this box. So, let's go. Back on roll 35, box 1 here. We got a couple interesting edges. We got this fella here that certainly looks like a proof. And this fella here, which certainly looks destroyed. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Oh, she's a bicentennial too. Somebody just wrecked it. For whatever reason, who knows? Let's check out this proof. We got this time, 1991. Another one in pretty darn good shape. Must not have been out there in circulation too long. A little milk spot on her, but that's all right. We'll take it. Just like finding them when they're new to circulation. That way they don't get all beat up. So, pretty sweet. And, 15 rolls left in the box, and let's see what else we can get. Let's go. On roll 45 here, box 1, got one that struck through a ton of grease, mainly on the obverse, a little struck through on the back as well, but you can see the L is pretty much completely gone, the I pretty weak, T and the Y pretty weak, can't even really make out the date. I I have no guess as to what it is. It does look like a Philadelphia coin. And then a little weakness around on the reverse, but not nearly as much as the obverse. That's a pretty cool find. For a while there, we was finding these. It seemed like every other hunt or so. I hadn't found one in a while, so we'll gladly take that. Always like finding these. So got 5 more rolls in the box, and let's go see what they got. Well, second last roll here, and still on the hunt for silver, but we're definitely finding our proofs. I think just the one's approved. The second one in here. The other one could be, but I don't think it is. That one definitely is. 1983. Not in the worst of shape. Not in the best of shape, but pretty darn nice for circulation. Let's check out this other one. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not. And it's not. Ooh, look at that. In 1987. Been a minute since we found one of these, especially out of Denver. Find quite a few more out of Philly, it seems like, for whatever reason. But this is a NIFC that was only issued in mint sets, if that's something that you hadn't heard before, but you probably have. But just in case, there's that little bit. And I'm pretty sure that was the only other exciting thing in the roll. But if I do find something else, I'll be sure to bring you back in for it. And we'll bring you back in for a little box recap as soon as we finish off this roll and then the next. So let's go see what we got. Oh, we wrapped up box 1 here. Just a few things we hadn't looked at already. I got this 88 Philly here that's pretty normal on the obverse, and then the reverse is all toned up. Mostly gold in color, but it's just kind of cool looking. But the rest of them, just a bunch of NIFCs, total 25. Some in good shape, some in not so great shape. And this one was pretty cool looking. You don't get a whole lot of color on clad. Got 2003 Philly with, sure it doesn't show up great, but a nice little rainbow on it. Obverse and reverse, so that's pretty sweet. Tough to get color on clad, seems like, but especially newer stuff. Every once in a while you find some older stuff that might have been sitting in the album for a while, but I guess even 2003 is a while nowadays, but I guess I show my age a little bit, but that's okay. But anyways, we're going to move on to box number 2, see what else we get, and hopefully I'll be back soon. On roll 11 here, box 2, and we got the 23 Philly DDR number 1. We looked at this multiple times, but the first one of the hunt here, we got doubling up on the inside part of the wing, a little bit on the snake, and a little on the ribbon there. So, nice little find. I think it's been a couple weeks since I found one of these, if I'm remembering correctly. So, we'll take another one for sure. So, we're going to keep on moving through the box. If I find any more of these, I'll just do a little recap on them. But for now, let's keep on moving. Well, 2 rolls later here, roll 13, box 2. We got one of the other modern DDRs, a 24 Philly, DDR number 2. Same thing that we've looked at before, doubling up under the ribbon and kind of on the southwest area of all the stars behind the eagle's head. A little on the beak there as well. So, same thing, we'll just pile up any others we find and do a little recap, but we got one at least, so let's go. Well, we finished up first half of box 2 here. We got another one of these kind of golden colored toners in the 78 Philly here. Got that kind of goldish look on both sides of it, kind of like that the one we found in the first box. It's kind of neat looking. But we also had 2 more 23 Philly DDRs, 1 more 24 Philly DDR number 2, and just one NIFC. At least I think that was the first one. Out of this box anyways, I don't know. But anyways, that's it so far for box 2. So moving in the second half and see what we get out of it. So let's go. Well, we got 3 rolls left in box 2 here. 4th one on the table. And believe it or not, we finally did it. Finally got a little piece of silver. Right here in the middle of the roll. It ain't pretty, but it is a sight for sore eyes. It has been forever since we found a piece of silver. So we'll take it for sure. And keep on moving here. Got a few rolls left in the box, and then we'll be on to box number 3. But I'll probably stop for a little recap at the end of the box here. And so I'll be back here shortly. Well, we wrapped up box 2 here. We had 4 more NIFCs along the way. This fella down here on the end's got a little toned up look to it. A kind of goldish look that we've had on a few coins throughout this hunt. And then we had 2 more 23 Philly DDR number 1s. And that's it out of this box. So we're going to move on to box number 3. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll find a little bit more of that silver. So let's go. Well, box 3 was apparently worried that the video was going to run too long. So helped us out by shortening it up. Box 3, 3 NIFCs. That's it. That's all. Moving on to box 4. Oh, very last roll of the first half of box 4 here. Saw this nice square edge in there, and I thought it was going to be a proof, but it's not. It's just an NIFC. Perfectly normal on the back, but on the front, got struck through a fair amount of grease. It looks like almost over the entire surface. You can see how it's kind of almost looks porous, but then out towards the edges, you're losing all kinds of detail. So that's a pretty cool little find. Much better condition than the other strike through we found earlier, so we'll gladly take that. I don't think I'll find them on newer coinage all that much, so especially one in this good a condition. So we'll gladly take that for sure. And move on to the second half of box 4 here, and hoping it picks up a little bit. I think we've had 2 NIFCs out of the box as well, but wow, 3 including this one, I guess. But on to the second half and see what she holds. So let's get it. Well, we finished up box 4 here. We just had 1 more along the way, 23 Philly DDR number 1, giving us a total of 6 of those for the hunt. We had 3 of the 24 Philly DDR number 2s. We had 33 NIFCs up here. Got a couple more down here that we'll look at, but we had our 4 proofs, 83, a couple 91s, one being in much better shape than the other, and a 95. And as far as I'm concerned, some of the better hunts, or better finds of the hunt, 87 Denver, a little scuff on the cheek, but got our strike throughs on the NIFC there, 2003, and not sure what date that is, but that was a nice little strike through there. And then our 1 little piece of silver. Wasn't much, but it's more than we've been finding. I'm so out of practice that I forgot the mug again. Let me grab it. I'll be back. Alright, here we go. I dusted off the mug a little bit. It's been a minute. It's not a big edition, but it's an edition, so we'll take it. And that's going to be it for this hunt, folks. So, not too shabby. Better than I have been having. So, that lets you know that you haven't been missing out on a whole lot these past few weeks. So, but nice little finds here and there. And we'll take it for sure. So, hopefully next one will be even better. But until then, peace.